Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Tyler Perry Sistas, Season 7, Episode 8, Pins and Needles. And I'm off screen today because, I know I'm still a little under the weather, but I will be back on camera real soon, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get into it. If I'm low or low energy or whatever, I do apologize, but I'm still going to give y'all the best that I got. And, stick with me if you're new here. Check out my other content. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into the episode. So we start off with Andi. She's meeting with another lawyer, and he's pretty handsome. I sense some chemistry. I don't know if he gonna come back around later down the line. I mean, we still don't even know where Robin is, so I don't know. But he did help clarify that Gary is, off the wall, off the chain, and he may need a little mental help, which we already knew. And he confirms that Jordan is innocent, which gave Andi some peace of mind. And speaking of Jordan 1.0, if y'all was watching Netflix, he's in that new Kelly Rowland and Tyler Perry movie, Mia Coppola. So I'm trying to finish watching it. I'm trying to get through it, y'all. It's a Tyler Perry production, y'all. I want to go live this week to talk about like everything that's gone on within the last week. So, if we get together, maybe we can chat about that movie as well. So suddenly, Fatima brings in a new potential client. She storms in. She has a big personality. Miss Marie, she's a billionaire. She's getting divorced. Child, Andi been doing so much other type of lawyering, criminal justice, and everything else. I done forgot she was a divorce lawyer for a second. So we see Sabrina. She's leaving her egg freezing appointment, and she looks drained. She's just overwhelmed with all the information. Um, it is a lot, and I wish it seemed like she just was like, I got this idea in my mind, and I'm just gonna make an appointment and just do it. But while she was making appointments, she should have been doing some research to see if she even really wants to start the process because it is a lot. While she's there, Karen walks in and it's like, they're like, what you doing here? Well, what you doing here? Sabrina explains what she's there for. And Karen was like, I have an appointment and I have a checkup. And Sabrina's like, you just had a checkup. So what's really going on? Finally, she had to tell her about the DNA test. But, Sabrina offered to stay as support, but she was like, no, because Zach is coming. Every time she says it, it's just like, girl, Zach is coming with Fatima, whether he said he is or not. So the next scene, we see Gary. He's showing up at a hotel room, and Tamara is there. This little hookup here is just so random because they start getting intimate, and it's like they were recording each other. Like he had his phone out, she had a microphone that was like lit up. It wasn't even low, like it was obvious. Like it was supposed to be a pin with a big old microphone on top, and it's just like who's incriminating who? Both of y'all are in the wrong, so I don't even see what was the point. How could y'all use this as evidence? I don't know. Hayden just so naive. Like you can sense when they're around each other that there's some weird tension between them. So Dani is meeting with her therapist, and she shares that Troy's kids walked in on her with her. She had her trench coat on at one time. And the therapist started laughing. And she's like, I know you better be giving me a discount for all that giggling you doing. Like, what? She's like, it's just your delivery. And she's like, I didn't find them walking in on me, in my trench coat to be funny. But Dani ends up doing the exercise because the therapist is like, you're always thinking of worst case scenarios. Be thinking of things that may happen that may not even happen. So she does an exercise to tell what she thinks the outcome may be, like what could happen as far as Troy and his children. She started giving all these scenarios from Acrimony and other movies. Karen already given Acrimony. We don't need Acrimony anymore. So Zach came to the DNA appointment with food, and he's being all nice, and he's rubbing Karen's belly. And once again, it's giving mixed signals. Like, child. But suddenly, while they doing all that, she's like, yeah, I remember you you was afraid of needles, and I know how scary you get, and I know your information, and this is a little cringy. Like, if he was single, maybe, but not for the whole fiance. But Fatima walks in, and then Zach starts apologizing to Karen for Fatima showing up. Zachary, Wrong road. Wrong road. So I'm gonna say medical assistant, she comes out and she's like, okay, y'all can come back. And she's like, oh, Zach and Karen, Zara would be a cute name if it's a boy. No, ma'am. It's Zatima only, okay? So Andi goes to Jordan's house and she apologizes to him and tells him that everybody named Mama think he's innocent. So she's, fine with it. And he felt like Andi should have taken his word for it. Like, okay, I'm glad you trust everybody but me. Like, when I told you I didn't do it, that should have been enough. And I see what he's saying there, but y'all only been together 4 months. Like, she don't even know you like that. But they make up, and now that old Jordan is done filming this movie, he can come on back. Because this new Jordan, the acting just ain't giving what it's supposed to give for me. So Hayden goes to Gary's office to tell him about Andy's potential billionaire client, Miss Marie, after he makes jokes about, Gary, because Gary had a big old hickey on his neck, which I'm like, not y'all being all rough like that. I mean, how old are we? And Hayden like, yeah, I know how that goes. Tamara she be scratching me up, like, do all this stuff. Like, this is so foul. But Gary was like, he got connections with Miss Marie, of course, and so he gonna try to warn her about Andi. Is Gary still on that stuff? He need to be worrying about himself. So meanwhile, Andi, because Jordan left, he had meetings, and there was a big old envelope on the table. So Andi picked it up, and she realizes that Gary was the one who set Jordan up with that fake story. And she called Fatima, like, I'm going to go confront him. And Fatima was like, no, I'm going to come too. You shouldn't be alone. And I agree. Why would you have him in your home alone? You don't know what he's capable of. So Sabrina and Dani are chatting, and Dani's like, yeah, and she kind of low-key feel the way that Sabrina had to find out that Karen was getting a DNA test. Like, if she didn't run into her, she wouldn't have said nothing. And Sabrina was like, well, Dani, are you still going to therapy? Like, looks like everybody's not telling, their business. And Sabrina was like, well, maybe, we're kind of drifting apart. Y'all ain't never really been together. I mean, it was always like Andi and Karen and then Dani and Sabrina. Like, there was a divide. But, and then they just come together on occasion. So after they get done talking about that, then Sabrina was saying, like, oh, we should do a double date with, Rich and Troy. And I'm just like, when will Rich get out of the picture? I'm tired of him being around. Like, it don't even make sense. I want Sabrina to find somebody new. So Andi and Fatima, they're at the penthouse, and Gary shows up. And, Fatima got to be her pit bull in a skirt with her duffel bag, threatening and scaring Gary. And Andi was like, Fatima, I got this. Fatima just, I don't know. She takes this Rough Rider thing a little too, like, she takes on so much. That's why nobody's there for her when she needs somebody. But Andi was like, I don't understand, why, what's this obsession you have with me? Like, been stalking me and all this stuff. And I've been stalked by an ex, like, in real life, like, no joke, not no, like, oh, he just blown up my phone. No, like, seriously, this is no joke. It's not a game. And it's a lot. It can get overwhelming. So that's why I wouldn't even have this man in my home ever. But, she want to set him straight. Gary's not going to leave her alone, and she know that. So she warns him. She like, I got all this information on you, so you better leave Jordan alone. He do not care. If you have all this information on him, you can ruin him. Do it already. Like, enough is enough. Goodness. But I will admit, Gary suddenly got the best storyline. I don't know how that happened. So we see Karen. She's, laying down. We get to see her exposed belly. I saw pictures floating around of Zach and Aaron being there. Where is Aaron? Aaron he popped up and made an appearance and called the shop and spoke to Pam. And then the FedEx guy popped up too. And Pam going whisper under her breath like, Karen got all the ninjas. But we know Aaron's going to come back. I knew he wasn't gone for good, but because let's speed this up some. This is going on too. Like, we were moving at a nice pace, and now we're at a standstill again with this DNA test. But so the doctor comes in and she's like, no, you're having twins. And Karen was like, oh, Lord, how didn't they catch this before? And I'm like, yeah, because how far along is she now? I mean, y'all just now realizing this at a DNA appointment? This isn't even an ultrasound appointment. And then the doctor was like, wait a minute, they're in two different sacks. So we know that means that there could be two potentially different fathers. So they're going to keep Zach tied to her one way or another. And wouldn't it be funny if neither one of the babies was Zach's or Aaron's? Anywho, that's where the episode ends. So next week, meet me back here. I should be feeling, back to my normal self, and I'll be back on camera. So drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.